Welcome, everybody. We've got a lineup change. Kyle Holley, the 5'9" free safety, is out. And in comes left outside linebacker Mike Williams, who actually gets a ratings upgrade by playing free safeties. So after last week with Kyle Holley being beat consistently, we're going to go for the change. And we're here at Waldo Stadium in Kalamazoo as the rivalry game between Eastern Michigan and Western Michigan is underway. The Eagles come into this game at 3-4, 3-0 in conference play. They're looking to even up their record and continue that unbeaten streak in the MAC. Western Michigan's only got one win, but they do have a quarterback in Corey Moore, who's rated 90 overall. And we're going to get to see him first, as Western Michigan will have the ball to start the game. Corey Moore with time, and he starts to run, and he runs over Roger Dennis, and then he slides for a 5-yard gain. The big defensive end was just getting up from a pancake block when he got hit again. And here's a run to the wide receiver, Mike Clay, on the end around, and he's tackled by Jeremy Heath. 3rd and 2. Handoff goes to the fullback, Nick Benny, and he's got a first down. So Western Michigan makes quick work and gets their first down of the game. Here is the running back, Jacob Brown. He's tackled by Blake Clark, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7. Corey Moore is going to flare it out to the running back, and he's going to get tackled by Mike Williams. David Griffith was unable to secure the tackle. So 3rd and 7. Moore under pressure, gets rid of it, and he's got a first down. He fired it to Brian Dahl. Mike Williams, the new free safety, in on the tackle. Moore was solid under pressure. He stood in there and delivered a first down pass. Corey Moore's going to run again, and he's going to slide again. So Eastern Michigan is having a little bit of a hard time with this quarterback. The 90 overall came to play today. Back to pass, he's got a wide open receiver. That's Mike Clay again. And that'll be a first down. 1st and 10. He's got pressure, and he gets it out to the boundary. And that was Mike Clay again. 2nd and 6. He's going to run it, and he's tackled by Blake Clark, but not before he gets the first down. And Western Michigan moving the ball effortlessly. This one skips off the turf, and that'll make it 2nd down and 10. Here's a handoff to the running back, and he's tackled by David Griffith. So not a lot of running room, at least for the running back, although Corey Moore from his quarterback spot is having an okay time. Lots of time, and that one is going to be incomplete, and it's 4th and 11. And they don't trust their 44 overall kicker from 45 yards out, so they'll go for it. Corey Moore has all day, and he's got a man open, and that's a first down, converting 4th and 11. Brian Dahl with the catch. Mike Williams and David Griffith converge on the tackle. Here's a play fake on 1st and 10 and a touchdown. Corey Moore converts a 4th and 11, fakes, and then hits Brian Dahl for a touchdown. And that was a huge drive. Opening drive took almost the entire first quarter and looks to be a 15-play drive. Brian Dahl culminates it with a 10-yard touchdown reception. Kick is up, and Western Michigan showing that they're not going to be a pushover today, playing in their home stadium. And they're going to kick it off, and Eastern Michigan is going to get their first touch of the game. Brian Carter gets stopped. Tolbert under center. He hands to Dowdell, and Dowdell's got a little bit of room up the middle. And that'll make it 2nd and 6 as the first quarter winds down. Tolbert to Dowdell again, and Dowdell finds a nice crease and has nearly enough for a first down. And that'll make it 3rd and 1. Tolbert trying to draw him off sides, and he's got Dowdell for the first down as the first quarter comes to an end. Western Michigan up 7-0, dominating the time of possession in that quarter. So second quarter underway, 1st and 10, Dowdell again. He's stopped early, but he falls forward for about 3. 2nd and 7. A fake to Dowdell, and this is Tolbert's first pass attempt, and he goes into double coverage for Anthony Gillette. That one is knocked down. 3rd and 7. Jared Tolbert back to pass again, and he's going to throw out to Gillette, who makes a great catch. Perfect placement on that ball, throwing it to where only his receiver can get it. A nice play, a nice throw, and a great catch, stretching out by Anthony Gillette, and that's going to be a first down. So Eastern Michigan on the move. Tolbert lines up under center again. He's going to hand to Dowdell, pushes forward for a couple, and that'll make it 2nd and 7. Dowdell again, and he gets stuck behind his fullback, Michael Clemens. Can't get around him. Picks up 4, and now it's 3rd and 3. Tolbert operating out of the shotgun now, and he's got this one out to Anthony Gillette, who's got the first down. On 1st and 10, shotgun again, play fake. Tolbert throws it out towards Slater, and that's batted down by Jason Ferwerda. 2nd and 10. He's going to just dump it off to Dowdell. Breaks a tackle and falls forward. That'll make it 3rd and 4. Operating from the shotgun again. Tolbert finds Slater, and he's in for the touchdown. Jonathan Slater. Just a nice, easy slant route, and he beats his man. Tolbert finds him in the end zone, and that's going to tie this game up at 7 with 2:28 left in the half. And so, Eastern Michigan answers the big Western Michigan 15-play drive with a 12-play drive of their own, taking up the majority of the second quarter. Kyle Allen's going to kick this one off, and we have a return. Looks like Washington is there on the tackle. Corey Moore is going to operate out of the shotgun, and Lee is in motion. That's the tight end, Aaron Lee. Moore's going to run it, and this time he's tackled pretty quickly by Blake Clark. 2nd and 8 as the clock approaches 2 minutes. Corey Moore is changing the play, and he's got a man in his face, but he delivers a pass that's true. It's Mike Clay, who's tackled by David Griffith. And now on 1st and 10, Corey Moore is calling out a play change again. 1:44 left in the quarter. He's got a man in his face, and he cannot escape the pressure. The corner blitz from Jason Williams gets home. He's the 58 overall corner who's playing above his pay grade. And that one goes out of bounds, and that'll make it 3rd and 20. He's pressured on the release, and that one goes nowhere. 4th and 20, Maurice Lane is going to come in to punt. And Eastern Michigan will have a little under a minute and a half to see what they can do with it, and perhaps go ahead in this one. Tolbert is going to pass for it. Throws it up to Guidry, and there's a crowd there. They're ready for it. Western Michigan not fooled by that play, as so many other teams have been. 2nd and 10. Tolbert with time. He's going to loft it up deep, and Slater jumps up for it. A great play Looks like the defender was there, but Slater, with great body control, adjusts himself to the underthrown ball and catches it. And that's a great play that's going to bring up first and goal, I think. Yeah, first and goal from inside the 10. Tolbert back to pass. There's Slater again on that same slant play. They can't stop it. Tolbert's already got 2 touchdown passes, both of them going to Jonathan Slater, and they take the lead, although they scored very quickly. And we know the tale as old as time, leaving less than a minute before the half is always a recipe for giving up a big touchdown. So only 25 seconds off the clock. They probably would have liked to use more, but nevertheless, they're up 14-7. Western Michigan is going to have their opportunity.
Number 8 with the return.
And Corey Moore comes out in the shotgun. Back to pass. He's got all day to throw. There is no pass rush, and he finds Brian Dahl. He's tackled by Bernard Washington. 2nd and 4. Moore on the screen, and that one's going to bounce off of Bernard Washington, bringing up 3rd and 4. Now under center. On 3rd and 4, that's a wide open Mike Clay and another 3rd down conversion. They only failed on 3rd down once, and then they converted 4th and 11. And here's a big pass, and of course it is. That is Barrett Everson on the touchdown. It's happened again. We have seen this over and over this season, especially with these MAC teams. The ranked teams didn't seem to try this, but the MAC teams are just going over the top on this secondary. Brian Carter gives up a long touchdown. That one is 51 yards. And, of course, Western Michigan is able to tie it up right before the half. 33 seconds left, and we will see if Eastern Michigan can do anything with it. Brian Carter on the return, and he is decked about the 25-yard line. And here comes Tolbert. Tolbert back to pass. And he's got an open Anthony Gillette on the sideline. They're going to hurry it up. 25 seconds left. And they're going to see if they can get into field goal range. Tolbert to pass. He's got Guidry, and that one is intercepted by Brandon Woodard. He comes down with it, and that's another interception for Tolbert. He's thrown a few in the last few games, but here the Guidry play is just not open like it usually is. Western Michigan now has a little bit of time before a half, and Keron is going to talk to his quarterback. He's probably having the same conversation that he had with Gabriel Hubbard earlier in the year that led to Hubbard's benching. So Tolbert's got to watch his temper because Keron Day does not play. All right, 16 seconds left for Corey Moore. He's going to throw 3-step drop, and he overthrows his man. 2nd and 10. Now he'll operate out of the shotgun. Plenty of time, and he's going to go deep, but that one's overthrown and out of bounds. Bringing up 3rd and 10, again from the shotgun, and no pass rush to speak of. Finally, he throws it up, and that one is batted down, and that'll make it 4th and 10 with 1 second left. They're not going to punt. They're going to see how far they can throw it. Corey Moore back to pass. A semblance of a pass rush arrives, but he evades it, hucks it up, and Brian Carter bats it down, and that'll take us to halftime. Giving up the big score before half, Eastern Michigan allows Western Michigan to get back in this game. It's a tie game, and now they will attempt to take the lead on their next possession. Brian Carter has nowhere to go on the kick return, and Eastern Michigan will hand to Dowdell to start this quarter, and he's stuffed. 2nd and 8. Dowdell gets the call again, and once again the line does not hold up. Defensive linemen are there to stop him. 3rd and 5. Tolbert's going to fake to Dowdell. And he's got Gillette open, and he misses him wide. That'll bring up 4th and 5, and Keron Day is going to make his offense go back out there. Tolbert under pressure, and he dumps it off to Gillette. And does he have enough for a first down? He does. So on 4th and 5, Eastern Michigan, not the only team that can convert a 4th down. Western Michigan, rather. Tolbert's going to pass. He's got a man. It's Guidry, and Guidry gets his first catch of the game for a big first down. Gillette coming for the end around. It's a fake, and Dowdell's got a big lane up the middle. He gets 12 on that play. 1st and 10, and Anthony Crum is in the game to give Dowdell a breather. Tolbert trying to draw him off sides. Hands to Crum. Crum runs into a defensive tackle. Gets about 3 on the play. 2nd and 7. Tolbert with the hard count. And he's calling out different plays. And he fakes his offensive line out. And they're going to false start.
False start on the offense. Still 2nd down.
So Tolbert trying to take advantage of an aggressive defensive line instead gets a penalty, and that'll make it 2nd and 12. He's going to pass out to Gillette, and that one is intercepted. It's picked off by Brandon Woodard again. So 2 interceptions now for Western Michigan. Both of them Brandon Woodard, who came to play today. And that scoring opportunity goes away as Western Michigan will take over. And Tolbert having some struggles here, moving the ball. He can't get it to his tight end, and he's thrown 2 picks. This one is a tackle by Heath and Washington. Jacob Brown, their running back, can't get anything going. 2nd and 11, Moore with a quick drop, and that's batted down by Jeremy Heath. Heads up play. 3rd and 11. He's going to throw deep, and this time Blake Clark's finally in position for once, and he's going to bat that down. So on 4th and 11, they're going to punt. So Eastern Michigan escapes the turnover with no damage. Brian Carter with a decent return by Brian Carter standards. And Eastern Michigan will have another opportunity here. Dowdell on the fake, and that one is thrown out to Michael Clemens, the fullback. Gets about 7 on the play. 2nd and 3, and here's Dowdell, and he's got a big lane, and look at number 72, Jonathan Browning, with 2 pancakes on that play. Watch number 72 there, and on the second level, throws him down again. Great play by the left guard, Jonathan Browning, springing Dowdell for a big play. 1st and 10, a fake, and Tolbert's going to roll to the right, and he's out of time, sacked at about the 49-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd and 22, and Tolbert is just going to hand to Dowdell, but Dowdell has nowhere to go. 3rd and 23, 3rd and forever football. Tolbert looking for his man. He's got Guidry, but it's batted down. And on 4th and 23, Stephen Higgins will come in as the offense sputters. Punts it away, and this one is going to wind up in the end zone for a touchback. So Western Michigan will take over in the 3rd quarter, about 33 seconds left. Here's a handoff, and it looks like Dominique Huffman drags him to the earth. 2nd and 8, 11 seconds left. Aaron Lee in motion, and the handoff goes to Brown. He leaps over Jeremy Heath, and he's finally tackled by Calvin McIntosh. And that'll take us to the end of 3, where we have a tie ball game. Western Michigan playing tough at home, and Eastern Michigan's looking for answers. There's a pass, and they're going to call that a first down. It looked like he was shy of the marker, so Keron Day will challenge. This goes out to Brian Dahl, and the replay, of course, does not show the line to gain, which is not helpful at all. But it did not look like he had enough forward motion. It looks like he was stopped, but I'm not sure that there's enough in the replay to overturn the call on the field.
After review, the call on the field stands.
And they will uphold that first down, and Eastern Michigan will lose a timeout. There's a pass, and David Griffith dives to bat it down. That'll make it 2nd and 10. Handoff to Brown, who breaks the Russ Reed tackle. Jeremy Heath has to finish him off. And that'll make it 3rd and 7. Corey Moore is going to run, and he runs into his own man, but then bounces it out for a first down. So Corey Moore has been able to keep drives alive with his legs, much to the chagrin of this Eagles defense. And now he's going long, and that one is almost intercepted by Calvin McIntosh. If they score here, we're going to look back at this play. It just biffs right off his hands. He should have had this one, folks. And that's what you get with a 68 at safety. Keron Day needs some better players. It's as simple as that. So 2nd and 10 after the missed opportunity. Corey Moore with all day to throw, and that one is going to be batted down by Bernard Washington, bringing up 3rd and 10. They've had a hard time getting him off the field on 3rd down, and here's no difference here. Mike Clay wide open for the touchdown, and Eastern Michigan's defense is exposed once again. They're trying Mike Williams at left outside linebacker from the free safety spot, but he makes a play that's just like his predecessor in that he's out of position and can't make up the ground. Kyle Holley at least had a little bit more speed. And so Western Michigan takes the lead here in the 4th quarter and pressures on these Eastern Michigan Eagles. Jared Tolbert's had a little bit of a struggle here in the second half. He started out on fire with 2 touchdown passes to Jonathan Slater. Since then, he's thrown 2 picks, and Blair Guidry only has 1 reception. Tolbert's going to throw out a screen to Gillette, and Gillette gets about 9. That'll make it 2nd and inches. Tolbert hands to Dowdell, and Dowdell's able to pick up the first down. And if they can get this running game going, it's been kind of inconsistent. Big plays followed by being stuffed. Then that will certainly help. And Dowdell gets it on the stretch play to the left, where he picks up about 5. On 2nd and 5, Tolbert's going to hand to Dowdell again. He cuts back left and gets 4 of those 5s. And that'll be 3rd and 1. Tolbert's going to fake and fools nobody. He is sandwiched between 2 defenders who did not even bite at all on the play fake. So they're going to have to go for it on 4th and 10. Tolbert out of the shotgun. He's going to pass, and he's got a man deep. It's Anthony Gillette, but he's got to wait for it. He comes back and grabs it. Had the throw been a little further, that would have been a touchdown, but Anthony Gillette converts the first down. Here's a toss to Dowdell, and Gillette makes a great block. 2 amazing plays in a row for Anthony Gillette, and Dowdell is in the end zone, and we have a tie ball game pending the extra point. Great blocking setup on the toss sweep, and Anthony Dowdell finishes the drive with a touchdown. Of course, with just 1:50 left, that's plenty of time for Corey Moore in Western Michigan to go over the top. Kick is away, and here's the return. Could use a fumble here, but no dice. Western Michigan has 1:45 to get themselves into scoring range. Corey Moore runs out of time, and he is sacked by Grant Lumpkin. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 18. Moore from the shotgun. He swings it out to Looks like Brian Dahl, who's tackled by Calvin McIntosh. 3rd and 11, and here comes Dominique Huffman. He storms in for the sack. Eastern Michigan's going to call the timeout, and they will get this ball back with 1 minute and an opportunity to go down and win the game. Brian Carter has nowhere to go. So let's see what Tolbert's got in him as Kyle Allen is warming up for a potentially game-winning field goal. They've got pretty good field position. Tolbert back to pass. And he's going for Guidry, and that one's intercepted. This is Eric Young. Tolbert's 3rd interception of the game could not come at a worse time. They had an opportunity to go down and win, and now the defense has to come through and stop Western Michigan from doing the same. And looks like Eric Young comes off of the coverage of McConnell and just jumps in front. It seems like Tolbert is just not getting enough air under those passes, underthrowing just enough for these safeties to come over and snap it out of the air. So 7 yards on 1st down to Brian Dahl, 43 seconds left. And Corey Moore is trying to get them into field goal range. And that one goes nowhere. So 3rd and 3. Can they stop them here? It's been a challenge today. Drops back. And he's going long. He's got a man, but he overthrows it. So the 90 overall quarterback misses twice. And they're punting away. It looks like the Eagles are going to have another chance at this with 24 seconds left in the game. Tolbert under pressure, and he's just going to take the sack. So not a good start. And time is ticking away. They're saving that timeout, but maybe they should have used it. 5 seconds left. Tolbert's looking long. He's got a man in his face, and that one's intercepted. His 4th of the game. Can they tackle him? Oh, they barely escape with a tie here. They're going to go to overtime. And Jared Tolbert has thrown 4 interceptions. Now, on that one, he's throwing it as he's hit. But this secondary has been great at tracking the ball and picking it out of the air. And now this game's going to overtime. Last year, Eastern Michigan handled Western Michigan no problem. They're going to win the toss and they'll play defense. That's what Keron Day wanted. So can they come up with another stop? Moore back to pass, no pressure. He's got Peter Hogan in the flat who makes a move on Heath, and he's tackled by David Griffith, but that's a 9-yard gain for the tight end. And now it's 2nd and 1. Mike Clay gets it on the wide receiver run, and he's got the 1st down, tackled by Calvin McIntosh. So Western Michigan running into very little resistance here in overtime. Pass is up, and that one is batted down by Jeremy Heath. And on 2nd and 10, they're about 10 yards out, and here's the running back. He's almost there. He makes it to the goal line. Flag on the play. And mercifully, that's a hold, which will make it 2nd and 18. And now Eastern Michigan can hopefully buckle down and force the field goal attempt. Corey Moore back to pass, and he's got a man open, and Mike Williams, fails to stop Aaron Lee down the middle. So that free safety is a position of need for sure. Kyle Holley can't do it, and I don't know what Mike Williams is doing there, but he obviously can't do it. And so on 2nd and 18, they throw a 19-yard strike for the go-ahead score. And now the pressure is on. Jared Tolbert has to score a touchdown. He threw 2 touchdowns at the beginning and then 4 interceptions. Dowdell tries to give him a little bit of a breather, but he's stuffed for a loss. Now Tolbert will pass for it. He's rolling out. Coverage is good, and he's going to try to run. Finds no room. They're going to call that a sack. He's been sacked 4 times today and thrown 4 interceptions. Just a miserable day for Jared Tolbert. So 3rd and 11. They need to get some of it here. There's Guidry and intercepted. It's that same guy, Eric Young, coming over and picking it off, and that is the game winner. Unbelievable that Eastern Michigan lost this game. That is 5 interceptions for Jared Tolbert, the worst game of the true freshman's young career. In a game they should have won, they end up losing in Western Michigan, and that puts them in jeopardy as they were trying to make an appearance in the MAC championship game. But that loss is going to be a big setback, especially to what's probably an inferior team, if we're honest, despite their 90 overall quarterback. 5 interceptions for Jared Tolbert. And he is one lonely man there on the bench. Pretty much lost the game. Defense didn't come through. Corey Moore had 4 touchdowns, and he's a senior. So he goes out a winner in the rivalry game, and maybe Jared Tolbert can reach that level by the time he's a senior. But for now, that's what we call growing pains, and Keron Day's just going to have to deal with that, starting a true freshman at quarterback. We'll have to see if Tolbert can bounce back next week as they play Temple, and they'll have a lot of recruits visiting. That's a home game. So hopefully Tolbert can come back and deliver a win. But a tough game, tough loss, and they're going to fall to 3-5 as lots of deflections but no interceptions. Really big one was that Calvin McIntosh one. They went on to score a touchdown, and that could have been the difference in the game. So a couple opportunities to go win it at the end. Tolbert threw interceptions, and that'll do it. So at the end of the game, it's a win for Western Michigan. Click like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.